All right, so I don't remember. This is like 115. We're over 100 episodes at this point. I don't know. It's fucking critical. I'm Mongo, joined as always by my co-host Liger Boost. We're gonna talk WrestleMania for the Amiga. I watched New Japan Dominion this morning. I have thoughts on what I think we need to do to everybody from the Brit Rest scene after watching a Callum Newman main event. The G1 blocks were mostly revealed. They're doing the stupid play-in tournament stuff again. I have thoughts on that. Some action figure news, some other shit. Before we get there, how are you this week?
I watched the Stardom show last night, so I'm in a better mood when it comes to wrestling. I'd say that show was quite fun, but yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I mean, not very eventful week or anything. So
Oh, I wish I could say the same.
yeah, I
Jesus
know.
Christ. We had we had a tornado warning Thursday night, and I was like, this is about as I'll Cliff Notes version because I gave LB the scoop before we recorded. I was like, this is the low point of my week. I got promoted at work, and then I missed a text message and found out when I got in the car on Friday when I was just beaming. I had a great day. I found out my aunt passed away. She had been having some health issues, including but not limited to like 2 weeks ago today. Her blood pressure was like 200 over 100. And the weirdest thing was like my mom was like, they called the ambulance. So like the whole car ride home that day, mom and I were kind of prepared for the worst. And then nobody called for like hours. And that's like, in that situation, no news is like, oh fuck, hey, it's only going to be bad news. But I guess when
Yeah,
the EMTs got there, they took her vitals and they were like, she's all right. Like, we'll take her to the hospital if you really want her to go. And they, my cousin was like, can you take her to the hospital in Dayton? And they said, no, we don't, we're not going to go an hour down I-75, but we will go an hour up I-75 to Lima. So that makes all the sense in the fucking world. Probably an hour and a half. I don't know. And so like she'd kind of been doing a little bit better, but she still wasn't like, breathing properly. And she had been complaining that like she felt like she had something stuck in her throat. It was not a great last 2 weeks. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Like I was telling you before we started recording, and you probably, if you've listened to the show for any length of time, if you've ever heard me reference my aunt who would yell at me to go to bed halfway through pay-per-views, it was this one. Um, I probably let on that I was a little more annoyed by it than I actually was after a certain point, but yeah, this sucks. Um, I don't have like anything funny or insightful or useful to say. Honestly, like it just sucks. So we're gonna lead off with the topic for the week, I guess, which is WrestleMania for the. Give me a moment. I thought I would have the release information pulled up here, but I didn't because I'm woefully unprepared because I'm me. So
oh,
developed by Twilight, not the vampire movies. I feel it's important to
oh,
note that. And published by Ocean Software in December '91. This thing was on all the fucking computers. It was on Amiga, Amstrad CPC, Atari ST, Commodore 64, MS DOS, ZX Spectrum, because I just learned recently it's not ZX Spectrum, so I've been saying that wrong my entire life. And this apparently came out in December of 1991.
so when was Superstars released again? The arcade game,
The summer of '89, I want to say.
and WrestleFest was
The summer of '91. Let me check.
okay. So this was after WrestleFest.
WrestleFest was June '91 in the
Okay.
US. This was also released shortly after WrestleFest was in Europe because that was apparently November '90.
All right. So I guess it makes more sense that they used Superstars for reference.
Yeah, apparently Superstars was May '89, so that's like the spring. So we talked about it last week. This game borrows liberally, and by borrows I mean completely fucking steals. Uh,
Yeah.
Superstars, like the arena is basically 1-1. I think the floor is different. It's got like an actual like hardwood look to it instead of like the orange like floor mat. type thing from like WrestleFest. I want to say Superstars has more of like a grid based like Korakuen Hall on top of Nippon Budokan thing going on with its floors. So that they drew a new floor and they drew new sprites for all the guys you wrestle that aren't just guys. Actually, I think Ted has new sprites too. I don't think he's just dug in from Superstars. It didn't look like that to me when I played.
I think so. I'm gonna look at a screenshot right now. Screenshots to compare it directly with Superstars. See, just to see how close it is. Let's see. Oh, you can keep going. I was just gonna look up in the background.
Oh, I was pulling up the WWE Vault YouTube to see what they put up so far this morning. My bad.
God damn it! I tried to type WWF Superstars and it came up Wet Superstars.
That's not the same thing at all.
It was just shoes in water. Let's see. Of course, my browser's being a bitch right now. God damn it! Why does everything go wrong when I need it to go good? Yeah, like it's
like
so
Hogan
close.
and Warrior are like super like Warriors in different color trunks, but other than that, it's like fucking it's 1-to-1. Um, this game there's not a lot to the gameplay. Like you grapple, you wiggle the analog stick or the flight stick or your keyboard or whatever it is you're using, and you do grapple moves. It's not the deepest game in the world, but I honestly think the presentation carries this thing.
Yeah, it's another case where, like, as far as movesets go, there's not a whole lot to it, but definitely the visuals is the most appealing aspect of the game because of the similarities to Superstars is just wild. And I mean those sprites and um the arenas as a whole, I mean, they do look very good. You know, it's very colorful. It's very vibrant. So I don't blame them for sort of ripping it off, to be honest.
I might be wrong on the Warrior sprite. I think he might actually just be like a repainted Hogan. I'm looking at a screenshot now, and it honestly looks like they just slapped the face paint and tassels on Hogan.
Yeah, did they not make the hair different?
It looks like he's got the Hogan hair in this. I didn't notice this when I was playing
No, either did I.
because I played as Warrior. So as far as playable characters go, you have Hulk, you have Warrior, you have Davey Boy Smith because this was a Europe only release apparently. And
Yeah.
Bulldog's Bulldog. You got him. You're going to put him in the game. The single player mode you fight, and I'm going to try to do this in order. Mr. Perfect, the Warlord, in what I think is his only video game appearance as of right now. Ted DiBiase, the Mountie, and Sergeant Slaughter, because of course it's a 1991 WWF game, and you have to fight Sergeant Slaughter at the end. When you beat the game, it says
Yeah.
whatever character you use wins WWF. Because there's like a newspaper thing at the end. It's not WWF magazine like Royal Rumble. There's also like the newspaper thing says something about a band called Fizzy Jelly, and I don't know what
Fizzy
that's supposed to
Jelly.
be like a. Yeah, is that like a reference to some like Britpop band or something? Is there a Britpop group that has like a name that you could rip off for that?
Fizzy Jelly. Uh, Not that I know of, but I'm probably missing some sort of reference.
Yeah, I've always thought it was weird. I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Fizzy Jelly.
But
I'm gonna be thinking about that for a while now.
I've been thinking about it ever since I first played this game in like 2013. There's like not a ton to say. Apparently, there's a 2-player mode, but if you play 2 players, player 2 will always be Mr. Perfect.
There's a weird thing where I was trying to play like the tutorial and my controller was acting as 2 controllers, so I was like controlling both at the same time, and it was very annoying. And then I think when I got to the actual match, I was able to. It sort of fixed itself, I think. But yeah, I wasn't able to get too far on it because I don't know. Like I was having those controller issues, and then it was just like the hit detection and stuff just felt off sometimes. I mean, the most thing I was doing was like hitting a top rope drop kick, I think with Warrior. And then I was winning the match, and then all of a sudden, like Perfect catches me. And I also hate like the uh, the stick, move it back and forth quickly as you can. Like that's very annoying on the controller. Um, and then obviously in the situation, you move the what do you call it? The analog stick, right? But
The joystick or whatever.
yeah, yeah, I did not enjoy that. I don't like that in any game actually. They do that in Def Jam as
I
well.
No, it's All Stars and Impact. Def Jam, you just mash the buttons.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. All Stars. I thought you did in Def Jam as well, but yeah.
No, it's got the little meter that says like push any button.
Mm.
And the button mashing in that game is bullshit. I just want you to know that. You can
Yep.
fill that meter up and the game will still tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, sure
Um,
is.
this feels like a race to the bottom, but if we're talking like home release WWF games, this is the best WWF game you would have had access to if you were a fan until
Yeah.
like at the fucking earliest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like gameplay, you think about the other games that are coming out at that time, like, and there's not a whole lot going on, and at least this has like an interesting visual aspect to it. So that's above a lot of the other games around that time.
Yeah, because like December '91, I think Superstars would have been out around that time. WrestleMania Challenge would have been out. I don't know that I like this game gameplay wise more than I like either of those, but graphics wise, it
Mm.
smokes both of them.
Yeah, definitely.
And Super WrestleMania I think comes out in like August of '92 on the SNES, and then I think October or whatever on Genesis. That's all off the top of my head. I could actually just look that up right now and not be bad at doing the podcast thing. Um, God, Super WrestleMania sucks.
Yep. It was
I
also
was
Superstars on the Game Boy. That was, correct me if I'm wrong, is that's like Superstars on the arcade, right?
it borrows a
I know we
lot
played
if
it,
you look at
but it's been a while.
like if you look at it aesthetically, it looks kind of close-ish,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really play anything. Like you've got your punch, your kick, your signature strike, and your ability to chuck somebody out of the ring. Not much more like moveset wise. But for like a 1991 WWF Game Boy game, like fuck it, that game's perfectly fine. And you have the David Wise soundtrack.
Yeah, so there was a few different developers that were looking at the Superstars arcade and was like, "This is the way to go." It's a shame they didn't stick with that, or like eventually WrestleFest and went into that kind of shitty early Super WrestleMania stuff with the other games they had on the NES and everything.
And I know we talked about it when we talked about that game, but I always hated that they stole the button mashing grapple stuff for
Yeah,
the handheld games. That does not translate well to the game, but
no,
I it's also insane. Like I know Nintendo didn't really do licensed sports games or whatever, but like pro wrestling was the highest selling game in the US for a couple of months in '87. Probably could have extended that a few months longer if it had fucking Hulk and Andre on the cover.
oh yeah, definitely.
Just saying. But like if you were an American wrestling fan who wanted a game with the wrestlers you saw on TV, you were in rough shape until like the mid '90s.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that this didn't make its way over because again, visually they would have probably got some sales out of it. Although they would have to develop for another console, right? Because like, I mean, what would they develop for here? Like the just like DOS probably, right?
That's my guess because I don't know if people were still rocking the Commodore 64 in the US
Hmm.
in the early '90s.
Yeah,
It feels like at that point, like the Apple computers and like Windows stuff probably leapfrogged
yeah,
it.
I would think so.
But I'm just like
Oh,
thinking of the WWF's like home video game lineage. You have like Micro League Wrestling, which is a great concept, not not fun to play. You
yeah,
have Mania for the NES, which is horrible. You have Mania Challenge, which is it's okay, it's good. You have
yeah,
Superstars, which is okay, it's good. You have this, which is okay, it's good. And then it's like fucking Steel Cage Challenge, European Rampage, Super WrestleMania for the Genesis. Fucking, you get Royal Rumble on SNES before you get King of the Ring, but like, fucking, there's King of the Ring.
Yeah. You also had Superstars 2 on the Game Boy,
That's right.
which isn't like Superstars. That's more like the
It's Steel
Super
Cage
Wrestling.
Challenge.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Steel Cage Challenge with way better fucking sprite work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, way more detailed sprites. I don't know how the hell that happened.
And it's
Because,
still
like,
really
you
bad.
look at it is really bad, but you look at Superstars 2 and it's like, these sprites look like they're twice as detailed as what's on the NES. If I was a kid that got Super WrestleMania, I'd be pissed off anyway. But if I was a kid that got Super WrestleMania and I saw my friend got like Superstars 2 for the Game Boy, I would be so mad that his game looked better than mine. Because it's the fucking Game Boy.
You mean Steel Cage Challenge?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know. You look at Steel Cage Challenge and King of the Ring, and it's like, how did you go backwards so far from WrestleMania Challenge? Because that wasn't a bad looking game, but
No.
like, how
I
did they
wish
get
that got a Game Boy port
worse?
though, because I just like the way that game looks on the smaller screen, like clicks a bunch of stuff in my brain.
Yeah, that'd been cool.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was finished, but yeah, and it's very much the case with the Amiga. It's like WrestleMania, good visually, and then you went to European Rampage, which doesn't really look that well. So
No, that's the worst wrestling game ever. I'm like completely comfortable in saying that. It like there's a lot of bad wrestling games, and there's specifically a lot of bad WWE games. But like, brother, I'll marathon fucking Warzone on the Game Boy before I ever touch European Rampage again. I will gleefully play WWE 2K20 before I ever touch European Rampage again.
there's no reason to do. I mean, you can't even really do anything in it. It's so bare bones.
Like I will fucking I'll do a 100% speed run of Backstage Assault. Like as bad as people act like some of those games are, like there are still far worse wrestling games. You just need to you need to dig a little deeper in the shit pile.
I'd rather not play any of
Because
them.
well, we do a podcast talking about wrestling games mostly,
That's
so
true. Yeah.
this is our cross to bear. Um, Speaking of, after we recorded last week, I got sent a thing about Sengoku and Pro Wrestling for the PlayStation, which I've never played,
Right.
but I've seen screenshots and some gameplay footage. And in a weird friggin' way, the Hyper Tag Match game, because of the camera being pulled out a little bit further, it looks like basically what I would imagine like PlayStation 1 Jikyo Power Pro Wrestling would look like, except like not nearly as good of a game.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
I've never played those games. I remember those games exist every couple of years or so, but I've never actually gotten hands on any of them.
I have Hyper Tag Match and I messed with it when I first got it like years ago. But I don't unless I haven't checked game FAQs or game facts in a while, but I don't think either game really had like a solid translation to them. And the first one especially is like very, very text heavy because it's more like a wrestling sim, right? So I think that was kind of just as far as I went. It's just like, playing a little bit of it and see what there was to it. Um, I guess there's a bunch of videos out on it now, so maybe there is more of a complete translation. I mean, of course, we've got stuff like translate on phones where you could translate menus easier. It's just I've never really got my hands on it again after originally playing it.
I know the friends of the show, the Game Marks. I don't know if they still listen to this, but those guys did. I think they did Hyper Tag Match. They might have done the other one. They did not like that.
Yeah, I think they did both.
They were they were not they were not feeling Hyper Tag Match. I'm curious to
Yeah,
play it if I can find an ISO of it. Um, but that's not like an immediate like or anything. Oh,
get a
it random
CHD.
video game news, huh?
Get a CHD if they're available. I think they're smaller file size, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Oh,
true. I
if
think
it's PS1, you'd probably just need a bin and queue.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just ISO is my default for
Yeah.
every CD based. Um, I got Switch 2 this week because I figured I was getting promoted at work, and fuck it, why not?
Nice.
Um, I didn't realize they had a bundle that's 500, and that's what the base price is going to be fairly soon, as I understand. And you get a voucher that allows you to redeem either Mario Kart World Tour, or whatever the fuck that's called, or Pokemon Pokopia, or Donkey Kong Bonanza. And I was like, well, I've been looking at footage of Donkey Kong Bonanza for a fucking year now, so I might as well buy this. And I'm pretty far into that game, and I'm comfortable saying it's no worse than like the third best Donkey Kong game ever.
Yeah, I've wanted to
Maybe
play it
second.
for a while. It went on sale here for like a ridiculous price at like Costco, and I added it to my cart and tried to get it delivered, and it's like, oh, it's out of stock at your local store. So they never got it back in, unfortunately. But I mean, I'd like to play it. It's just the games are so goddamn expensive.
Did I tell you my reaction to the Fire Emblem game pricing? I don't
No,
think
I
I
don't
did.
think so.
So Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, if you don't buy it from Walmart or Amazon, is $80 for the physical copy. And it reminded me, like I've had a lot of these moments recently where I'm like, no, we've finally hit the point where our economy is like Canada when we went up there in like 2007. And I don't mean that like everything. It's just I see how much stuff costs,
Yeah.
and I remember how much stuff cost when we went up there in '07. And I remember because we went into the electronics section at the Walmart there, and was it Sarnia? And I got Degrassi: The Next Generation season 4 because when in Canada, buy Degrassi on DVD. I think that's like the national slogan. And we were walking around electronics, and I saw whatever the 3D Pokemon game on the Wii was, like Battle Revolution or something like that, Battle Network,
Hmm.
something
Yeah,
like that.
I think so.
It was like $79 Canadian, and I was just like, Jesus Christ! And then I look at how much all of the Switch games cost, and I'm like, huh, I'm at Walmart in Canada in 2007. This sucks.
Yeah, it's like that for every game. I think Wolverine's like 80 or 90. I can't remember. It's like when people complain about game prices in the States, I'm like, yeah, you've got no idea.
It sucks because like Nintendo's doing the thing where it's like, oh, it's $10 cheaper to buy digitally, but like, fuck you.
Yeah. It's
Especially when Nintendo are the only company committing to doing all of their games on the actual cartridges. Like, fuck you. I'd
mm,
rather have it physical. I say having gotten a digital bonus game with my Switch too, but like I was planning on buying Bonanza physically. This just saved me $20 plus tax.
it's also with like the Switch. I wonder if like some games will become rare if you buy them on physically. Like I got Tamagotchi Life, Living the Dream physically because Tamagotchi Life on the 3DS I guess is like harder to come by. And I was like, I wonder if like these physical release games will be like more difficult to find in the future. You know?
I think the ones that are actually on cart might be. The
Yeah.
game key cards, you might as well just fucking wipe your ass with them.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
another thing I noticed. Adventures of Elliot's like a 20 gigabyte game. Explain to me why the fuck that needs to be a game key card and 64 gigabyte key cards you can use. I understand the obvious reason is the larger capacity cards are more expensive to manufacture, but like, here's my counter to that: get fucked.
Yeah. I agree.
So my decision to buy the Switch was not only just because like, haha, I'm gonna have a little bit more money soon, but they did reveal the Fire Emblem release date, and it's the same goddamn week that Wolverine comes out. So I have a decision to make. It's gonna be Fire Emblem probably.
Yeah, I'd imagine
Um,
so.
and I saw that they're taking one of the Final Fantasy mobile games and doing the Octopath Traveler Zero thing, where they're taking like the general concept of the game and turning it into like a full fledged like premium console game.
Hmm.
And it looks really good. It's the first HD 2D Final Fantasy, so you know what that fucking means. We're getting more of them, and it would be nice if we could get the first HD 2D Final Fantasy Tactics. That would sure be nice. I would be super happy if that happened. Um, I guess during that direct they showed another trailer for that Duskbloods game that FromSoft is working on. And I looked at the comments and it was like, it's been a year and I still have no idea what the fuck goes on in this game.
I don't remember it, to be honest.
Yeah, I only know the name because like one of the kids I work with is a big FromSoft fan. and he's
Right.
got a Switch too, in no small part because that game was coming. And they finally revealed Kingdom Hearts 4. I saw Goofy and I saw Donald Duck. So you know,
I know he voiced the character in the movie, but it's disappointing to see that they kept James Woods on for that.
oh, did they?
Yeah, because he tweeted like, "Oh, I've know things, and this is going to end up being great or something like that." So, pretty sure he's involved in it,
That sucks.
especially after like all the horrible things he said. You know, it's all right.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't. We recorded before the Xbox Direct. So speaking of horrible things, and actually, real quick, best of the WWF Volume 17 went on the Vault page today. I noticed last week that the runtime for Volume 20 was cut, and I couldn't figure it out when we were recording. They cut a whole ass battle royal off of that tape, and they cut Duggan's coronation, which is literally on the box art for the fucking tape.
That's lame. That's why I can't trust anything that goes up on the vault unless it's something that's never been seen before.
Like, shout outs to the community for being able to fix this stuff, but like,
Yeah,
come on, brother.
yeah. There's probably
What are we doing?
on XWT Classics. There's probably already a rip of like the 24/7 version with like the added WWF and whatever else is missing.
I'd believe it. My thing is like they seem to be doing like some other shit with the upscales on these. Like maybe, and again, I could be wrong on this, but it feels like they're doing like some weird like HDR color correcting on some of this stuff.
Yeah,
Like I've noticed it really strong on like the WCW stuff. Like the darker tones are much darker, the colors are a little bit more vibrant, and that might just be decades watching VHS rips of WCW stuff as well. But
right.
it definitely feels like they've been doing some stuff with the footage. This tape also is just, I mean, this is of all this is one of the WWF tapes of all time. There's a Brutus Beefcake match.
The last one I owned as a kid was the one that had Strike Force against was it Hard Foundation or Demolition? I think it was a Hard Foundation. And
The
Mean
Heart
Gene,
Foundation title changes on one of them, and they
yeah,
also wrestled Demolition on one too.
and Mean Gene explaining what a dark match is, which was
Yeah,
kind of
so
funny
that
looking
one that
back.
one's on the vault.
Oh, is it okay? Yeah, that's the last best of that I had when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't remember what number that is, but that's on the vault. That was the one where I was like, oh, they blurred WWF. I wonder, and then Mean Gene says WW, and I'm like, okay.
Mm.
We're just gonna keep the 24/7 versions alive. That's fine, guys. But it looks like they're committed to uploading the best of the WWF series, which is cool because that's the precursor to Super Tape, Battle of the Superstars, WrestleFest, like
Yeah,
all of the tapes that we all remember from like the '89 era onward. This was the original, and then Tony Schiavone was like, "Why don't we use all the dark matches and fucking just put those on tapes?" And somebody was like, "Tony, you're a fucking genius."
you're fired.
Yeah, he was a few months later.
This is now Steve Lombardi's idea.
Yeah, we're gonna give Bruce Pritchard some credit for it too, because
Yeah,
I guess Bruce was the one technically in charge of the home video stuff, but I'm assuming he just did his pre favors and was like, "Let me know when the tape's done,"
mm.
because it's Bruce Pritchard. We'll get into action figure news, I guess. Oh no, I'm sorry, Sega at the Xbox thing. So they showed a Crazy Taxi trailer, and a lot of us got fired up. And then the Steam page hit, and it was noted they used generative AI, and they tried to damage control by saying like, "Oh no, this was the basically we used generative AI for concept art purposes, but everything in the game was done by humans." And
Yeah,
I noticed somebody pointed out like there's a weird shift between cultures where Japanese devs are using AI, and it doesn't seem like people in Japan really seem to care.
yeah,
It's not like a big deal. But with Western audiences, it is a huge fucking deal. And if the Japanese companies want to sell their games internationally, they're going to have to be mindful of like there's going to be a large contingent of people that buy these games or would buy these games that are going to immediately nope the fuck out if you use AI on any level. Like that Clear Obscure game, people didn't, I guess, realize at first that had generative AI in it. And once people started seeing the shit, they were like, they need to take every game award away from this fucking game.
Yeah, I was watching Jeff Gerstmann's podcast, and he mentioned that I guess that the idea of using like AI for sort of like concept art is sort of a thing that's done in the gaming industry. It's just that they never really talk about. So it's not like it's a. I guess they were more open to it to talking about it, Sega, than a lot of developers or publishers are. I don't know. It's hard to see when you look at the footage. It's like I could see if like they use AI within the game itself, but I mean they said they don't, so I don't know.
It makes me a little hesitant to actually buy that game. I
Well,
probably still will, but
that's also becoming a thing too. Like Martin Scorsese has just signed on with a company to use AI for concept art, right?
yeah, that broke my heart.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a weird time.
Yeah. Uh, I'll talk about New Japan Dominion first. So, for some reason on Fire TV, no matter what commentary option you picked, you got the English commentary. And I'd never heard Walker Stewart really. Uh, he sounds exactly like fucking Ian Riccaboni to the point that I didn't realize it was
It
Walker
does a bit,
Stewart
yeah,
until they showed him.
yeah.
That's not a knock. Like I was just like, oh, that's weird. I thought they had the other guy with Charles, and then they showed him. And also, he kind of doesn't talk the same as Ian either. But like, I was like, oh, that's weird. So after the opener, I dug out my laptop, plugged that in, and went to News World on my computer. So I didn't see Jake Lee versus El Phantasmo, and believe me, I'm thanking God in heaven above that I didn't, because I can't imagine that match was any good. You know what other match wasn't any good? Takeshita versus Sonata. They just did fucking moves for like 9 minutes. There was no selling, no nothing. It was dog shit.
So
Um,
Cyber Agent already spent the budget on Sonata's entrance.
yeah, so they did like all of these previous incarnations of Sonata came out with titles he held, and then he just comes out looking like an asshole.
That's pretty good
And
though.
yeah, it was a good bit, but like I can imagine if you were watching the English feed and you heard them referencing Lij, you would probably think something was actually going to happen, and then it didn't.
Yeah.
Um, Takeshita won with the Raging Fire. You can spend 9 minutes better doing other shit. I did see everything from the third match on. So Uemura and Taichi beat ZSJ and Ryohei Oiwa. Crazy that Taichi won this match and did not take his pants off until the match was over. This was really good. I wish Oiwa had a tag partner that I enjoyed more than Zach, but Zach was perfectly fine. El Desperado beat Miso, so I'm assuming they're going to run that back at Arena Mexico. This was really good for as long as it went. I would imagine those guys getting time at Arena Mexico would probably be even better.
They're the junior tag champions.
Huh?
They're the junior tag champions.
My brain just blanked. I'm sorry, what?
Did they win the IWGP junior tag team titles?
Desperado and Mystico?
Yeah.
I don't. Shit, I don't know.
I could have sworn I was looking at the New Japan site and it said they were tag team champions, and I was like, when did that happen?
Yeah, I don't think. I don't remember. I mean, it was like 4 hours ago. Other than having belts.
Maybe it was a dream I
Yeah,
had.
no, they are. They
Yeah,
won them at Dentaku.
yeah, I had no idea. I was like, oh, okay.
I didn't either. That's crazy. Um, Aaron Wolf beat Ren Narita for the Never title. Perfectly fun match. You had your House of Torture shenanigans. Aaron Wolf fucked them all up. Takeshita came out at one point, and so did Yano. And Takeshita said something to Aaron Wolf, which I think probably amounted to "Don't ever sell, get up." And Aaron Wolf continued to sell though because he's a good wrestler. Takeshita isn't. And this is where we got the G1 participant VTR. There are 6 spots as of that point in the show that were not determined already. 2 are going to be determined in the tag title match, which I'll talk about in a second. And then the other 4 are going to be determined in matches on June 27th and July 6th. Meaning, on a show that they badly need to sell tickets for in the US, people are not going to know the full card until 5 days out.
Good business plan.
Not a great idea. That's very fucking stupid. Stop this play-in nonsense. Nobody likes it. So Great O'Khan and Hinare are your tag champions, so they're in the tournament, but it was not announced which block, obviously, because we didn't know until right before that match that that was a play-in match. So what we know so far, the A block is Takeshita, Hiroki Goto, Oleg Boltin, Yota Tsuji, Shingo Takagi, Jake Lee, and Sonata, which is a great group of talent until you get to the last 2 in particular. The B block is just this is no man's land. You have Shota Umino, Yuya Uemura, Drilla Maloney, Zack Sabre Jr., the worst wrestler I've ever fucking seen in my life. I'm sorry, Callum Newman, Ren Narita, and Gabe Kidd. It's like they decided we want no fucking good matches in this block. Put every shithead imaginable fucking just right there together. Holy shit. But I'm excited to see Hiroki Goto work a singles match in person and not, teaming with Yoshihashi to face QT Marshall. And I think it was Aaron Solo. And I get to see Shingo in a singles match. That's not as cool as seeing him teaming with Sting, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
And there's one announced person in the B block that I think Zack Sabre Jr. would have a match with that would be comparable to the Claudio match, and I don't think I'm getting Zack and Uemura in Chicago. As I mentioned, Great O'Khan and Hinare won the tag titles over the Knockout Brothers. This was really fucking good. A lot of this match was just Hinare and Yuto Ice beating the fuck out of each other. Oscar is really good. Great O'Khan is one of my favorite guys in New Japan because he cracked the code on having a really interesting personality and also working in such a way that you don't get roped into doing dumpster dance bullshit. And this is where the show kind of took a nosedive for me. Shota Umino won the global title. He pinned Andrade. They did this fucking 12-minute post-match angle. Gabe Kidd comes back and he says fuck 300 times. And he said something about yeah, my best friend's a sex pest, and I faked a mental health episode to get off Twitter because I didn't like people holding me accountable for slut shaming the person that called him out. I think he might have said something about that, or maybe that's just something I'm putting out there in the universe. But fuck that guy. He's a shitty wrestler and a shitty human being. And I could say a lot of bad things that I wish would happen to that guy, but I'm not going to do it. But the Drilla Maloney, that fucking limp dick fucking loser, he sucks. He has horrible offense. I'm pretty sure he's British. There's a theme with guys New Japan likes to book. Shitty wrestler, British, either a nonce themselves or friends with the nonce. It's almost like it's baked into that whole fucking scene over there. He's just standing there on the ramp like a dumb fuck. Gabe Kidd cuts his fucking promo. Who gives a fuck about any of this? And he said, fuck Shin Neon Pro Wrestling because, put the lion mark on your tights when you work Kenny Omega, but then you fucking decide, dog, I'll go take the bag in AEW. You fucking loser. Yo beat Doki for the junior title. House of Torture match, so there was just interference all over the place. Pro Love says the match went 18 minutes. It felt like it went fucking 45. It just didn't end. Congratulations to Yo. Another post-match angle where some white guy, who I'm assuming is British, in a suit fucking got involved, and then Master Wato got involved, and Kosei Fujita got involved. And I cannot give a fuck about the juniors division in New Japan at this point, which is crazy because 30 years ago that was the bread and butter of this company. Was they had the best junior heavyweights in the world. Now they don't have fucking one of them. Then the main event. Yota Tsuji is once again your IWGP champion. He beat Callum Newman. Allegedly the match went 24 minutes. Callum Newman is the worst fucking wrestler I've ever seen in my life. And to clarify, he is the worst wrestler I've ever seen pushed as main event talent. When people called him Baby Ospreay, he's Will Ospreay minus the athleticism, the understanding of what to do and when, interesting looking offense that looks like it fucking hurts, semi-believable selling when he decides to sell. Ospreay can do it. He just fucking doesn't. There's nothing here. They literally gave this fucking guy the title because it felt like they want to do some shit with Ospreay. And there's all the like United Empire Death Rider stuff. Oh, also, fucking Gabe Kidd tells Umino, you were never a Death Rider. Like, go fuck yourself, you fucking bald fucking loser. Newman's just, he's shit. Yoda Tsuji tried. And Yoda Tsuji's got some offense that's a little shitty looking, but like every bad match I've seen Yoda Tsuji in, he was in the ring with somebody who was way fucking worse than him. And like I'm just sitting there watching this and I'm like, how is like they do the IWGP title roll call before the match, and there's fucking, you know, Inoki and Fujinami and Choshu and Hashimoto and Chono and Muto and fucking Fujita and Tadao Yasuda and Nagata and Tenzan and Kojima and fucking you got Tanahashi and you got Okada and you got fucking Kenny and AJ and you got Brock Lesnar, even though he's a fucking dumbass piece of shit piss fetish loving motherfucker. You have all these guys, and then I'm looking at this dude who's like, Callum Newman's a big guy too. He looks like he's never been in the gym once in his fucking life. He's just like, he's kind of like a pudgy motherfucker. He doesn't wrestle like one either. If he wrestled more like Dick Murdoch than Will Ospreay, he'd be one of the best wrestlers in the world, but I don't think this motherfucker knows who Dick is. I also found out this guy was born in like late August 2002. Why is he the IWGP champion? Why? And like,
yeah, they wouldn't do that for any of the Japanese talent, really, for the most part.
No, they have a guy that they should do it with. Fucking Wolf Aaron.
Yeah.
Like, he's fiddle fucking around. You may have noticed he also wasn't announced for the G1.
That's right.
Are they going to make him do a fucking play-in tournament match? Is he going to lose the Never title right after he wins it so somebody else can be in the fucking G1?
Oof.
Just, it's so stupid. And during the match, I was just like, you know what we need? We need like a 75-year moratorium on anybody becoming a pro wrestler or continuing to be a pro wrestler if they're from the Brit rest scene from like the last 20 years. Like those guys, all of them just need to find something else to fucking do. And granted, I know what a lot of guys in that scene are into. Them having more free time is probably not good. But like, literally, I ran it through my fucking brain. There is one good British wrestler that's active right now, and it's Dynamite Kid. You could make the argument too if you want to mention Regal's kid, but he was born in Atlanta. We're fucking claiming him. And it's just like, they all do the same. It's like fucking, they all do work rate shit, but they love Attitude Era WWF. And they have like no fucking understanding of why any of the shit works. They just keep doing moves. And 10 years ago, people swore that shit was like the future of pro wrestling. And like in the weirdest way, they're right. But like, this is the worst fucking timeline. Like, why are these guys all over New Japan? I get it actually, because it's cheaper to book them than Americans. But here's my thing. I literally said this to my friend I was watching Dominion with. You don't need to have all of these fucking Westerners under contract. You know why? Because you have a fucking relationship with a company called AEW that has like 3 people under contract. Just fucking bring AEW guys over like New Japan did in the 90s when they had like 3 fucking Westerners that were dedicated on their roster and everybody else is from WCW. Like,
yeah,
find your 3 guys that are like your 3 guys and then just fucking import. Because Tony's got a million motherfuckers he's not doing anything with.
Yeah.
You think Eddie Kingston would be opposed to doing fucking a couple tours a year in New Japan? I don't think he would.
Yeah, it's like when they used to send like Bagwell and like Wall Street or like Regal. Yeah.
Like you could pull up the AEW roster page right now, and I could give you for the next year like a rotating list of people New Japan could book that would probably be cheaper than who they're currently booking, and it's all people that probably should just be working more regularly anyway. Like, I'm glad Lee Moriarty's being used more often on TV because he fucking rules, but like, can he work Best of the Super Juniors like one time, please? Like, can Nick Wayne, since like they don't want to do anything with him on TV, can Nick Wayne just like stay in Japan for a year?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Like, Just like let Tony pay for people to fucking come over and get experience or just, work. There's zero need to have all of these fucking shitheads like El Phantasmo. Why? He sucks. He fucking sucks. And also the money you would save not having to do the work papers for all these fucking guys, guess what you can do? You can go sign domestic talent and invest in domestic talent so they
They're
don't
not going to
fucking
do
leave
that.
the first time an American company waves a fucking check in front of them.
Asking them to sign domestic talent, that's a bit too much. Come on now.
I did hear that Shun Skywalker told Dragon Gate, "I'll see you the fuck later," and he might be headed to do that.
Yeah,
So
I read that as well.
he'll get a big push in the juniors division, and then he'll get 50-50 booked to hell like everybody else.
Well, yeah, I mean, it feels like everyone on the roster's had like a title reign because it's always, back and forth. Switch one person out of this person, then eventually land back on them.
I was shocked to find out today that Yo had never held the junior heavyweight title.
Oh yeah, it's a surprise.
He's like fucking 38 years old. He's been around for 12 years. No, I know what you mean, but like, I was like, he has to have been champion like a couple of times by now, and I looked it up, and I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, he's not like, this is one of the least important titles in New Japan. Everybody's had this title.
Exactly.
And it's so crazy. The three guys that we've known for years are in charge of booking are all career junior heavyweights. It's Jado Ghetto and Dick Togo. And they've completely obliterated the juniors division in New Japan. Like, you need to gut the booking team. Maybe literally, but, metaphorically, figuratively. Maybe consider literally too. And you need to get somebody new in there. And there needs to be, like, a serious consideration to try to scout junior heavyweight talent. Like, I understand when you go for, like, amateur wrestling and judo, and especially sumo, because they've apparently started trying to recruit from that world again. Like, you're going to inherently get more heavyweights, but, like, go to, like, a fucking kickboxing event and find somebody who fights, like, the equivalent of, like, 170 pounds.
I said it before.
Be like, hey,
why not recruit from these smaller independents that are around? That don't have the biggest names, and you can, they've been in the business, but you can still like teach them your ways. You know what I mean? It's like, why not go for those people who've got at least a little bit of experience?
It would require investing in domestic talent, and they would much rather just bring in shitty Brit Rest guys.
Yeah, but like when you talk about like the recruiting from different forms of combat sports, it's just like there's actual wrestling talent that you could look towards. That wouldn't hurt.
I think part of it is like they want to mold the guys from step one. And you should want to mold guys from step one in your dojo, but like when you have a need to like refresh your roster, you don't have the time to have 15 people in the dojo. Like you gotta get motherfuckers through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of like Kotaro Suzuki's still around. Like how do you not call Kotaro Suzuki to come in and work fucking BOSJ? Like, I love Jun Kasai. I'm glad he was in it. Can we get him to work regularly? Can we build him to a title shot?
Suzuki, they could have had like a match of him as like Tiger Emperor team with Tiger Mask. That would have been cool.
That would have been fucking dope. But they just, I don't know. They're in such a weird spot. They did draw more this year than they did last year, but it's like 300 and something more. And
do you think one thing that they might do is like switch around with Noah and like DDT? Maybe switch the roster members around for like a few months or something?
It would be useful for some of the guys that they maybe don't want to do a whole lot with to just send them to Noah or DDT. I mean, you're technically under the same umbrella at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
My problem is New Japan getting entangled with Noah means they're inherently entangled with WWE.
Is that relationship even at? Well, I guess it is because there's another guy in WWE right now. But like how connected is it really? You know?
Yeah, it's just I'd rather not risk it.
They might drop that completely because they're going to Netflix Japan, right? So I think that's soured the relationship a bit.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. I Noah's in such a fucking weird place, man.
Although
A lot
I'm
of Japanese wrestling is.
I'm forgetting that Noah did something with Netflix Japan recently too, and I can't remember what it was, but I remember Marufuji was involved with it.
It was like a Baki collaboration or some shit.
Right, so, huh.
Yeah, I I don't know. I saw Biscuits and Guns won the Noah Tag League, or they're in the finals of the Tag League, which means they're probably going to win the Tag League. Uh, I don't know who New Japan is for at this point. I don't.
Yeah,
Or not
I
New
mean,
Japan, Noah. Well, I don't know who New Japan is for either. It's not for me.
yeah, as far as New Japan goes, I was like invested after Wrestle Kingdom. Um, and then to see like Aaron Wolf like lose straight away, and to see the way it went after that show, I was like, well, the investment I had is pretty much gone. So I dropped off again quite quickly, and yeah, I don't know who Noah is for. It's Noah's a strange ass promotion.
Like I saw they're running Daisuke Sekimoto against Shuji Ishikawa for the GHC Hardcore title. Like, fuck yeah, let's run some 2014 Big Japan matches, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah,
But like, my thing with New Japan is if you just pulled back from feeling like you needed so many like, and I know the mentality because I figured it out in like 2013. They want a bunch of white guys because that's how you get Western fans to watch because they need the people that look like them, or they're just not going to be able to relate to these guys that are from Japan and don't speak English. Except there's a lot of us that do.
but
Like,
also like the Western audience, it's like we're far removed from the days of Kenny, when Western fans were actually invested in New Japan quite a lot. With the relationship with ROH and everything, it's like they don't have that level of talent anymore. So it's like when they run these strong shows, they don't do very well because the talent's not there. So having a bunch of Westerners doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day if it's not drawing in the Western fans, right? So
and I think it's two things. One, the people that were fans of that era of New Japan have AEW with
right.
basically all the same guys.
Hmm.
And two, until they started actually properly branding the American shows as New Japan, people took it to mean like it's New Japan Strong. Who gives a shit? None of the stuff actually has any actual impact on
Right.
like actual New Japan. And I think running Strong for so many years and then deciding, fuck it, 2026 is the time to do a G1 show in America. You have the people like I still see people fucking asking where the old New Japan Strong regulars are. Like Tom Lawler can't wrestle anymore. I think he has fucking hip replaced. I think he's like done.
I think he was at
And
the
like
MLW show, but he wasn't. He obviously wasn't working it.
I think he does commentary for them, is what I heard.
I think so.
And like, where's Fred Ross or Darren Young, and it's like they used him to run the dojo. They were
Yeah.
never going to give him a run in Japan, unfortunately. And like, they really treated the New Japan of America stuff like it didn't matter for so long that like when you see the reports like, yeah, the Japanese talent don't like coming over because the buildings are half empty. Like, well, that's maybe something for the bookers to look at and go, well, if we gave the American fans something more impressive, which is why the G1 thing makes no sense to me. Those blocks should have been announced like at Wrestling Dentaku fucking last month.
Hmm.
If you had to do like a mystery entrant thing for Gabe Kidd because he was injured or whatever, and you really thought you needed him, that is what it is. Okay, I'll work with you there. But like we saw the poster. We knew the fucking like Takeshita was going to be in. He's the defending champion. There's no way that fucking AEW is not going to get him away from the. He might get away from the international title for a month. Maybe they're cool with him just being in Japan the whole fucking time. I don't know. But you could pretty much figure out who was going to be in the tournament. And like Wolf Aaron's on the poster. You mean to tell me like there's a chance he's going to lose a play-in match again? And we're just not going to have the never open weight champion in the tournament. That doesn't make any sense. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because like I love New Japan. That was my first real exposure to Japanese wrestling. And it sucks when you have a show, to your point, like Wrestle Kingdom, where it's like, fuck yeah, they're back. Like,
Yeah.
they did a show. It was like 4 hours long. It didn't feel like it was 4 hours long. Everything breezed by, which Dominion, I'll also say this, was like a 4 hour show. Breezed right by. Top two matches felt like they went a little too long. But like, I remember when like the Wolf Aaron match was on, I was like, it's like 5:30 and we have 3 matches left. That's crazy. 2 hours into the show and there's like, oh, it's 3 matches left instead of being 2 hours into an AEW pay-per-view. Like there's fucking 7 matches. We're gonna be here a while. And another thing I'll note, like, despite the 2 House of Torture matches having a ton of interference, they were both pretty fucking different matches from one another. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's so frustrating to try and get invested in New Japan because, I mean, like we said, you have a show like Wrestle Kingdom that's very good and seems to set up a bunch of interesting things, and then they're back to like their old ways, and it's not very good again. You know, it's I can't do it with New Japan anymore because I don't want to be in and out all the time. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there was no way I wasn't going to go to the G1 opener in Chicago. That's like 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about going to the Produce show in Montreal because Fuwa-chan and Hazuki are booked on it, but I was like, it's a bit too expensive. But it was an idea, you know.
Oh, I had a funny thing to tell you about that. So I emailed the My AEW support thing, like, hey, these shows were announced for your streaming service. I'm just trying to figure out when they're going to be available on pay-per-view. I get an email telling me like, oh, be sure to watch our Fast channel, and for pay-per-view in the US, you'll have to use HBO Max. And I was like, thanks. That didn't really answer my question. Produce Wrestling announced this week that like they're going to be streaming their shows on My AEW.
Right.
And they were like, can you give us a screenshot of this post? And I just like dead ass linked them to the Instagram post. Like, yeah, we can't open that. Can you send a screenshot? So I sent them a screenshot of each slide. And they were like, oh, we'll get back to you. And like fucking 4 days later, they're like, yeah, we don't have any updates. You'll have to stay tuned. Basically, it was the gist of the email. And I was like, wow, that was
very helpful.
so fucking helpful. Yeah. Because they had to forward my concerns to their dedicated team because apparently Chris Harrington doesn't man that fucking email. But I mean, I'm in on those shows. It's what is it, 15 for the individual ones or 50 for all 6? $50 like for that. 6 shows is not awful. And apparently whoever gets tasked with curating the shows gets 10% of the pay-per-view cut.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a good incentive for people to jump in on those. And also like the cards are unique. Like
I was looking at like ticket prices if I wanted to fly out. And you can fly here from Toronto with like taxes and everything. It's like $120 something. But if you want to spend like 1 day in Montreal, it's like 500 and something. And I was like, fuck that.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
I don't think there's any significant video game news. Right? Like,
not really. I mean, we saw there's some gameplay going around of Hitman Hollywood or Hitman Hollywood, Stuntman Hollywood. I think it looks cool. I saw some people complaining about it, but people complain about everything. Seeing like the DeLorean drive around and stuff and crash a Hill Valley sign, I thought like that was really neat. I'm really interested to see how that game turns out. Other than that, I think we went over everything. I mean, basically from last time we were on. Of course, it was the Nintendo Direct, which you talked about earlier. There was that Ocarina of Time remake, and as we both said, like try to get into Zelda and just can't. maybe I'll give it another try. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But
The art style of that's an interesting choice because it doesn't
yeah,
have any real personality or charm to it.
yeah. I don't think there's anything else that came up.
I saw like somebody played that Tomb Raider remake early, and there's like a little bit of gameplay out, and it looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I mean that Crystal Dynamics has done a pretty good job with Tomb Raider, so yeah, that's expected, I guess.
Are they the ones developing that?
I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong now. Now you got me questioning myself.
Apparently, yeah, it is being developed by Crystal Dynamics and Flying Wild Hog, which is
Oh,
something
that's
you
what they
can name
called
your
me in high
studio.
school.
And apparently, they're using AI at some
Yeah,
level
I
with
mean,
developing the game.
everyone is, right?
It sucks.
I see there's a. I'm just looking at Steam to see what there is. There's a Promo Wrestling World coming out on June 19th. Sandbox Simulation just popped up there.
It's a deep wrestling management simulator. Let's
Deep.
scroll down. There's not an AI disclosure, which is interesting.
Deep. So there's
This
got to be.
looks sort of
There's,
like TEW.
you've always got to be careful when you look for wrestling at on Steam because you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, sandbox submersive sim stylized. I'd say it is stylized, buddy. It's fucking text based.
There's another one I see called Booker Blitz coming soon.
Is it
God
a football
damn.
game starring Booker T?
It looks like an AI. Oh, look at this one. This is super AI. Territory Titans Booking Wars.
Oh yeah, no, you see it in like the fucking thumbnail.
Yeah. Is that I like simulators are easy to do with AI or something because they just keep popping up all the goddamn time.
This looks fucking brutal, man.
What is this? There's another one
Hold
called
on.
the Pig.
Territory Titans Booking Wars contains some pre-generated content created with assistance of generative AI tools during development. AI assisted tools were used to help create portions of promotional artwork, visual assets, and concept materials. All AI generated
Oh
content
my!
was reviewed, edited, and curated by the developer before inclusion in the game or store materials. The game does
Where
not use live AI generation during gameplay and does not generate content for players in real time.
where are these coming from? There's another one here called the Pay Window.
That's a great fucking name. Does it have an AI generated Dusty Rhodes as the thumbnail?
Imagine if he starts freaking out like that WWE AI video.
Oh, jeez. So in terms of like wrestling figure news, we saw a bunch of promo shots from
Hold
Mattel.
on. One
Okay,
sec,
okay,
one
okay.
sec. I got some more stuff. Look up Wrestling Classics Old Timey Pro Wrestling on Steam.
Is it another fucking booking game?
Nope.
Okay, well, first thing I noticed is this looks exactly like Bruiser's 2D boxing.
Very much so. And there's another game called Legendary Pro Wrestling Fighting Spirit.
By the same developer.
Oh yeah, it is. Funny enough.
All of these games have the same style.
Wow.
Yeah, this looks really fucking bad.
At least it's not another simulator.
Legendary Pro Wrestling is an old school style pro wrestling game focused on spirit meters, logic based simulation, and customization.
Mm,
We'll fucking see about that.
yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Doesn't mention AI in the description, at least, so they're either hiding it or not using it.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of studio shots from Mattel. I know you're excited for the Jey Uso WrestleMania 41 Ultimate. I assume you pre-ordered
Boy,
one already.
howdy, let me tell you, I ordered 10 of them.
Jesus, man, that's maybe a little excessive. I
Well,
have no use for this figure.
yeah.
It is just Himus.
Yep.
They showed the Saudi Arabia CM Punk Word Life Mattel Creations figure. This thing looks like shit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine owning it. We saw the on-card studio shots for Saturday night's main event Wave 2, which, for those that don't remember, is Ultimate Warrior, Junkyard Dog, Braun Breaker, and Cody Rhodes. The Ultimate Warrior figure looks cool. The rest of this wave is dookie, honestly. It's cool that they're finally doing like retro card figures. I just wish they were doing, retro.
Yeah.
Hasbro, whatever. They're still doing the WCW T-shirt Mick Foley defining moments figure.
Mm-hmm.
This may be the last Mick Foley figure that they put out for a while.
Probably. I think that's like the last thing that's actually been announced, right? So I imagine so.
He's got the Bischoff shirt and the Dungeon of Doom shirt. That's cool. We've seen the final version of New Jack, and anybody that thinks this looks better than the zombie New Jack has never seen New Jack one time in their fucking life.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people like hyped for that one, and it's like, but if you know Zombie's making one, it's like, yeah, unless you really want just like a cheaper version that you don't have to pay. In my case, like probably like a ridiculous amount of shipping for, then Zombie's going to be the best one.
We got studio shots of the Coliseum collection, Yoko and Kane. We've seen these before, but it does confirm that Yoko comes with the black robe. I don't think there's a shot of the back of the robe, so I don't know if it has like the Yokozuna with like the flag or whatever on the back.
Right.
Awesome figure, based on Red Card Hasbro. The outer box has some really cool Yokozuna artwork on it. To me, the big winner of this is Kane, because that Mattel Creations exclusive ring Kane figure, that figure's awesome. I love the black and red gear. It looks like they didn't fuck up the lines on the mask this time. And I'm a sucker for the WrestleMania 2000 Titantron live carding. I loved that shit when I was a kid. I don't know that I'm actually going to buy either of these, but they are very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why 2000 Kane has the fucking little voice box gimmick, because he was just speaking freely at that point. We saw Ultimate Series 32, which that's already hitting stores. That's Jake, Jacob Fatu, and Austin. The way Damien is packaged with the Jake is hilarious. He's kind of just like coiled up like a turd. They got my boy Damien in there looking like a dookie. I don't need this. I have the Coliseum Collection one. I don't need the Jacob Fatu figure. I have the MLW one. And I have the Monday Night War Austin. I do not understand why this thing has the what t-shirt. That's incredibly fucking stupid, especially because it's one knee brace Austin and not double knee brace Austin. But, Bill McKenna will do what Bill McKenna is going to do. And then the shock drop of all of this is that this fall at Target, LJN Series 4 will be 3 figures. It's the CM Punk figure that was announced at Comic-Con. It's him, very clearly based on Money in the Bank 2011. He's got his arms out like he used to do after the It's Clobbering time. He'd put his arms out, and you see the text on the back of the shirt. Better than the AEW LJN by a fucking country mile, also designed by the same guy. Figure that out. The reissue for the set is Ted DiBiase. which, very expensive LJN figure to track down. I don't really have an issue with this being reissued, but the big one for this set is LJN Mr. Perfect. Orange singlet, comes with the Intercontinental title, comes with a towel. The pose is a little like I could see an LJN figure being in this pose. It's the anybody that's seen it, it borrows heavily from the one promo picture where he's kind of just got his left hand out, like, yeah, I'm fucking Kurt Hennig. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
do a
think it's
bunch
like
of what's with Brooks.
his taunt from Showdown Legends of Wrestling, or at least similar. Like his entrance taunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they still have the black card variant going on. There's the blue, black, and yellow posters. I don't understand the yellow poster on these so much.
No.
But this figure is, pardon the lame expression, but it's perfect.
That's someone I didn't even think about. Like, could get an LGN. Just the name that I didn't just wasn't on my mind. But I saw that and I was like, yeah, I really want that.
I mean, they had to get Jelly Roll out first. You got to put the big stars out before you can focus on the deep cuts. Like, the fucking greatest wrestlers the company ever had.
Yeah, we've got to.
Oh, he's not on the back of the carding at all.
Oh,
Jelly Roll, I mean.
maybe it's just like maybe it fell through. I don't know.
You got Series 1, Series 2, and then you have Jake, Piper, and Rock from Series 3, and Kurt, Ted, and Punk from Series 4.
Good.
I'm wondering if maybe there was a celebrity figure they wanted to do and then couldn't do, or what's going on there.
Yeah.
Basically, every original figure they've done for this line has been pretty strong. The Cena's really good. The Austin's really good. The Rock is fucking fantastic. The Punk's good. The Perfect is good. My one complaint is the Jesse, because why the hell is the hand that holds the microphone not in front of his face?
Yeah, it's they built that off obviously the original, but that was an in-ring, muscle pose. It doesn't make sense for an announcer to have him like that.
Oh, Dusty was an original one too. He's really good. I don't care about Logan Paul, but that's not a bad figure. I have no fucking use for him. Like they've done a way better job at doing a proper LJN line than either time a Jeremy Padour led company did the same thing.
Oh,
and
yeah,
their sculpts are on par with the big rubber guys. Like,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do next, because they've been, had all these attitude era, like, well, Austin and Rock, and now they've done Mr. Perfect. So, I imagine they'll be doing Undertaker at some point. I mean, it'd be crazy if they wouldn't.
But it's got to be 1990 Undertaker. It can't be like 94 Purple Blood. If Bill McKenna suggests that, somebody needs to fucking take him to the parking lot.
I would think like you would do 1990, but part of me thinks like they might also do like Attitude Era Undertaker.
Well, you know what? We know this line has the full support of WWE. So it's probably going to be around long enough to where they can, whatever version of Undertaker they do, if it's not one they should do, they probably will still loop around and do another one.
Yeah. They should probably do like K98 first. I can see like maybe Shawn Michaels. I don't know if they do a Rock of Shawn Michaels or not.
I think everybody involved in either of those figures, I'm pretty sure, collects the big rubber guys, and there's a big rubber guy, Marty.
So maybe what the match?
I'm thinking that, and then I'm thinking maybe a few waves later you get like 92 Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah, I could see them doing 96 as well. 96, 97. Brett? Another Brett?
So I was talking with the guy who sculpts the KWK figures yesterday, and we both kind of landed on they're probably going to reissue the Hair Foundation first. And then we both were like, they should do singles Brett like immediately after.
But I wouldn't mind if they made changes to the Heart Foundation and made them more like the later attire, with like the white stripes. I know they haven't done that with any of the other figures, but maybe that's a different figure they do down the line.
I think like the singles Brett's going to be in the attire you're thinking of if they do one. I know Boss Man was in a leaked lineup or something, so they're going to reissue him, which fuck yeah, that's another $600 figure. that's not going to be
Oh,
worth
really?
$600 to
I
a
have a
lot of
Boss
people
Man.
anymore.
You mean
You
I
have the
can sell it?
LG, the Grand Toys Bossman?
Yeah.
I would sell it before that thing. Like the day that thing goes up, the day that thing is confirmed, I would sell that fucking thing.
It's not in the best condition. Like I was selling them then, like undervaluing them on website a while ago, and the only person that messaged me was somebody that I already knew from work. I didn't know it was him at first, but he didn't buy anything. But yeah, I've still got loads of LGNs around.
But I know Bossman's rumored. I was talking with another friend about this yesterday. They need to do a 1990 Warrior. And my
Yes.
friend was like, "Yeah, but knowing Mattel, it's going to be Mania 6." I'm like, "No, they need to just redo like Hasbro Series 1." And he was like, "Okay, Hasbro Series 1 colors, but it was from the Mania 6 poster where he's like doing the double bicep, he's like screaming. That would be so fucking dead on perfect. You could repaint it 100 different ways, and that's why I don't think they'll do it."
I think what they should use for inspiration, I have those Hogan and Warriors that are like LGN size, and you like put water in them. There's like Warrior in like white tights. I don't know if you've seen them before.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those designs were great. So I think you could just do, like, if you're looking for anything for a reference, I think that Warrior is a pretty good one to go with.
I also got in my bag and was like, I actually think they should do Hasbro Series 2 attire wise because that's Survivor Series 89.
Mm-hmm.
I love that show. But there's a lot of interesting things they could do with that line. I get doing the reissues, but after a certain point, man, I kind of don't think we needed the Hogan figure reissued. I think you kind of could have done Hulk rules Hogan.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, and I would kind of like maybe reference the original San Francisco Toy Makers WCW. Maybe have like a similar pose or something to sort of slightly connect it to that as well. I think that would be neat.
Yeah, but that one's got the similar pose to like LJN #1. I'm thinking like you pose him tearing the shirt like the cover of WrestleMania for the NES.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, they could also just fucking repaint the second Hogan into the Hulk rules stuff, and it would be just fine.
I mean, that was a pretty damn good figure.
It's one of the better LJNs for
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
Like
Yeah.
that figure's fucking great.
Like, it's a huge
Zombie Sailor put.
upgrade from the original.
Yeah, I've never really liked that first one. Like, I get the pose, like
No,
it's great if he's gonna do the body slam or the leg drop, but like the smiling sculpt doesn't really work. It doesn't really look a whole lot like him.
it very much feels like, like this is the original, and the second one is like, okay, now we've actually figured it out.
Yeah, like we've got the style of the figures down. We've got the scale
Yeah.
of them down. Yeah. Zombie put the ECW figures up on the 10th. I have not bought them.
Ugh.
He did Danny Doring if you buy the whole set, and that's cool. But I'm just kind of like, I got the G1 trip in a month. I just bought a Switch 2. The KWK stuff goes up July 1st. The O-Ring Heroes. I kind of think there's other things, and also like he's doing a Pinnacle Collection Shane Douglas. I'm really not that upset if I miss out on that particular figure. It will suck having to pay secondary market prices for Danny Doring later, but whatever. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I saw them and I was like, I can't afford them right now, but it's like, god damn, I wanted to grab them, and then I was like, if I get all these ECW figures, do I need another do I need another ring? Like, I don't have room for one, but like I'd be like, I want like an ECW retro ring. But yeah, I at least wanted to get like Douglas, Sandman, and Tanaka at least. At some point I'm gonna have to get that Gladiator and Mike Awesome and the Tanaka, because I need them. They're some of my favorites. So also,
I have
like,
the Gladiator. It's good.
props to him for using Epic by Faith No More a lot in his advertisements. I don't know why, but like I appreciate that.
I think it's because that was like an ECW bumper song on TV in like
Was it really?
'96 for a
Because
little
I
bit.
don't. Okay, I'm up to
Nine,
this. So
95 or '96, I feel like they used Epic for a
I
couple of
thought I
commercial bumpers.
I thought I read once that I think it was the Bruise Brothers used it as a theme.
Well, those are not guys I would want to homage.
No, but that's the only reference I knew for ECW. But then he was using it in like the reveal, and then he used it. Masato Tanaka sent out a message, and he used it in that video as well. I was like, hell yeah! I'm glad someone's. They have better songs, but that was their most popular. So
Yeah, I I still haven't pre-ordered the Fantastics. They look good. I don't give a shit about Kevin Kelly.
oh come
I
on, you don't want legendary New Japan commentator Kevin Kelly?
No, I don't have the Rock retro anymore to really set him up. The one thing I really remember Kevin Kelly.
Destino.
Yeah, and he got him, which drove me nuts when he did it on ROH TV because it just felt like he needed to have a catchphrase.
Andrade El Idolito.
Yeah, that guy sucks. He's a horrible commentator and a bad person too, allegedly. And I still haven't found the DC figures, but I also haven't looked super hard. Like this week, I was focused on getting the Switch too.
I saw Joker was on Amazon Canada for like $16, which crazy price, just to see
Yeah,
them
it's not
going
bad.
for. Yeah. Um yeah, it looks pretty good. Now I think I saw somewhere that they were doing a 3-pack of Bane.
Yeah, it's Batman, Nightwing, and Bane.
Which again, those look pretty good as well, so
Yeah, they're making sure that you fucking have at least 6 figures of Bruce in your collection.
I think what's cool about them is that they feel like proper toys. These don't feel as weird as to say they don't even feel close to like an adult collectibles line. They feel like look at the packaging and it's like, no, these are toys for kids.
Yeah,
And I think that's neat
that's
because you
kind of
don't
the
really,
idea.
yeah, but you don't really see that on display as much anymore. I mean, I know like Marvel makes that stuff, but like it's not their focus. Legends is obviously their focus, but they're putting some recognition onto this DC core line, and I think that's neat.
Yeah, it is. It's such a '90s coded toy line. You have the fucking
Yeah,
weaponry. They're doing vehicles. There's like all the different fucking gimmick versions of Batman that may or may not actually exist in comics.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that stuff's interesting. I'm curious to see how far they push it before it becomes like kind of just parts reusage and repaint hell. But
Yeah.
I mean, the baseline's still really high for these. They still look really good. I again, like the 9 millionth episode in a row. I can't wait to see the collector one.
Did you happen to see that Doomsday footage that leaked?
No.
So it's incredibly pixelated, and the guy that released it has his username all over it, his social media handle, and he sent out a tweet that's like, "Marvel, you better release the Avengers trailer, or you're not gonna like what happens or something." So he released this leaked footage, which there was some people asking if it was AI, but I guess those who know have like said no, this is real. And the whole plot is out there, and this is very much a scene from the plot. Um, it's got the Marvel Avengers, like the camera angles where it's like pan up to the heroes or pan around the heroes, and this is
Yeah.
something that's like one shot scene. I was like, man, like they can't. It feels like copy and paste. It's like just can't. You guys couldn't even add like new angles or anything to this. I just thought like that like threw me off. I was just like, you could just take out these characters and put the Avengers from the first movie, and it's like the same scene. It was I thought that was kind of I don't know, just silly. And everyone else is like, oh god, it looks so good. You can barely see anything. It's so pixelated. But
Now hold
yeah.
on a minute. You mean to tell me Marvel is creatively bankrupt?
Dude, it was. I'm not joking when I say it's like literally copy and paste. Like it's the same camera angles, like exactly the same stuff. And I was like, holy shit! Like you got to be kidding me. There's like, yeah, again, no originality here. And I was like, oh god, dude. And
You
everyone's
know
like,
what rules?
oh,
I did see that.
it
I did see that new
rules.
X-Men '97 trailer, and that looked good.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
like, they don't pay attention to the animation shit.
yeah, I was gonna
They're
say the less they care about it, the better it is, probably.
Apparently Kevin Feige really wanted to get his hands on X-Men 97 after it performed better critically than everything else they fucking do. And it doesn't look like he fully got his hooks in on this season. My biggest thing about the two-part bullshit they're doing, they're gonna steal a box office. Maybe not a giant one, but they're gonna do well with Doomsday. Secret Wars is gonna die at the box office. Once people get in and they get their fucking nostalgia hit from before the pandemic, they have zero fucking reason to show up for another one a year later. If no reason. And like, what else do they have in the pipeline as far as live action goes?
Apparently nothing.
Like nothing. Nothing. We can't get a Blade movie. The fucking Blade game's canceled because it's so hard to just do fucking Devil May Cry with Blade.
Yeah.
And the Blade movie is just it's fucking shelved because you can't just take a look at the Blade movies from before and be like, fuck, we can do that.
Like, how many of those like Marvel post credits things actually happened? There was like,
I hated the idea of having them in every fucking movie because it's stupid. Like,
well,
I read a fucking comic book at the end. There's not like I flip past the last page and like I get the cover for the next issue. I don't get like here's something now. Fucking go buy She-Hulk issue number whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Well, there was like the one with Charlize Theron and Doctor Strange that has so far gone nowhere. There was like, wasn't Harry Styles like the one in Eternals or whatever, and that's gone nowhere because that was related to Blade, I guess, in some way. So, waste of time.
I never saw Eternals. I had no
Oh,
interest.
either have I. I've not.
I just, you know what killed my interest in that was like the thing where Kevin Feige, it was reported Feige was like, all of this is in camera. When he showed the footage to like Disney execs, he was like gleefully like, look, it's not in a fucking warehouse. Like, yeah. That's how movies used to be made, doofus. You're a big part of why they're made this way.
And I think that's a part of the appeal of the DCU is that everything feels different. I mean, like the projects that have come out, you know, I've sort of had that James Gunn to it, but I think if you look at something like Clayface, definitely feels different than anything else that they're doing now. And obviously, the Batman isn't the DCU, but that feels different. And just seeing those Avengers shots again all over again, I was just like, that's so tiresome. Like, would it kill you guys just to do something different for once?
I don't think either of those cinematic universes are long for this world. I think we're going to see both of them go. For different reasons, mind you, but I think we're going to see both. Dog, Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount are merging. I don't believe a fucking thing that anybody at Paramount says about anything. Paramount could tell, like David Ellison could call me on the right now and tell me tomorrow's Monday, motherfucker, I'm preparing for Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to the things that are already actually coming out, you know, that I know of, like Man of Tomorrow,
the stuff
and
that's like
stuff.
actually in production. I think that stuff's probably fine. It's the stuff that's like pre-production right now that I don't have a lot of faith in.
Right, we'll see where it goes. And it's very curious because there's like rumors of like Wonder Woman's going to be in Man of Tomorrow, and it's like it almost feels like they're setting up another Snyder situation where you've got all this stuff set up and then it gets cancelled, and then you've got people like for the next 10 years are going to be complaining that they didn't get what they wanted. You know what I mean? Which
I also think we don't need to use a large amount of Superman's runtime to set up their characters. That was one of my problems I had with last year's movie was I didn't need that much of the JSA. I would have rather we got more of like the actual human characters because that casting was so fucking good.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of the Daily Planet crew in it.
Yeah. I also like kind of wish Jimmy Olsen wasn't such a shithead. The shit with the girl is like so weirdly like mid 2000s mean spirited weird shit, and I don't think Jimmy Olsen would have done that. That felt like we were doing some like weird shit about women just to do it. I like that movie, but that like I didn't need the JSA, and I did need Jimmy Olsen being a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it. I mean, I don't know how I would say it. I didn't see it as like I understand why people view it the way that they do. I just didn't think about it that much, I guess. Um, I don't know.
I also saw that Image is reprinting that Daniel Warren Johnson do a Powerbomb comic, and one of the variant covers for issue 1, and the same people are doing a cover for issue 2, and I'm assuming they're going to do one for 3. They're based on like Weekly Pro, and
Yeah,
I
that's very
went
cool.
on Comic Hub immediately and did add to cart. Because I mean, Image is on a run because they had that Wrestle Heist comic where the covers were all based on Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I need to read that comic. I have all
I
4 issues of it.
I mentioned it to you, but the Mortal Kombat Collection 4K, the booklet is based on the cover's like a Prima strategy guide, which is a neat little thing.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard the scan of Mortal Kombat like 95 is really really good, and I mean you
Yeah.
could tell from the trailer they released if you watched it in 4K, like they did a good one with that, and it's also like it points to what I'd heard about like Arrow having like a pretty decent relationship with Warner Brothers because they did those, they did the Friday movies that uh, Warner Brothers would technically own. I mean, technically Paramount owns the whole fucking thing now because all the New Line stuff's under their umbrella.
Mm.
Which means we're gonna get fucking Nightmare on Elm Street on Paramount for like 3 months, and then it's gonna be gone for like a year, or
Probably.
it'll get licensed out to YouTube because apparently, if you have the Paramount streaming service, you can't watch Good Burger, but it's on YouTube for free if you want to see Dan Schneider.
Ugh. No thanks.
Yeah, I forgot he was all over that movie. I was like, "Welcome to Good Burger, home of the oh god, it's this motherfucker." No,
Yeah.
that Quiet on Set documentary was something, but I also kind of don't like that it was a Drake Bell rehab piece.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Like
But
awful
yeah,
things happened to that guy, but he also did awful things. And maybe one is related to the other, but like still.
yeah, I watched that and it was disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was horrible.
Yep.
I was never like I didn't like a lot of those Schneider shows. I hated the Amanda show. Drake and Josh was just white Keenan and Kel. I didn't really enjoy that one. I liked Keenan and Kel and I liked a little bit of all that, but you could tell the people that fucking wrote for that show were writing for somebody who had like the weirdest fucking sense of humor, the side of Vince McMahon.
I didn't watch that stuff because I think I was a bit too old for it at the time. Um, I think most of the like, I didn't watch a lot of Nickelodeon shows. They used to air on like YTV in Canada, but I think most of the stuff I watched was like Canadian produced, like Student Bodies and the Game Show and another show that I'm completely forgetting the name of. But and of
I mean,
course
Are
just
You Afraid
wrestling.
of the Dark was Canadian produced.
Yeah, I don't think Erie, Indiana was Canadian. I don't know who did that. Some American company, obviously, but I don't know who. That was a good show.
I don't know that I've ever heard of that show.
Yeah, well, obviously it's Erie, Indiana, and it's all crazy. Like an Elvis impersonator as the next door neighbor, and was like, I want to say like episodes had like vampires and like Bigfoot and shit, and UFOs, and it was a crazy show to watch as a kid. It was like X Files for kids.
Oh, that aired on NBC. That's
Okay, there was another show. Pretty sure it's Canadian called Freaky Stories, and it was like a beetle puppet and like another creature like an ant or something, and then all the segments were animated. It was sort of like Tales from the Crypt Keeper. That was a neat show.
huh. Oh, unrelated to everything. I saw that Glate dropped the paywall on YouTube and was like, oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I watched Nakajima versus Shinya Aoki. That was good.
nice.
He countered a guillotine choke with a Northern Lights bomb. That guy has had the weirdest fucking career trajectory, man.
Yeah, he's a bit crazy.
Yeah, I mean, look at his adoptive parents, I guess.
Yeah, but like Kensuke wasn't like. I mean, he didn't really change affiliation too much. I mean, he went to WJ and then he started Kensuke office, but it was what was it called before that? Diamond Ring, right?
No, his Diamond Ring after Kensuke office.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't around too much, but like you look at Nakajima and he's been like all over the goddamn place.
Well, I mean, Kensuke did the thing where he went to New Japan and he was like a loyalist until Choshu came back, and then he was like,
Oh
I'm going
yeah,
to go on a Hall of Fame run of burning bridges.
yeah. I mean, he had a good run in Noah and All Japan. Those were fun times.
Yeah. He was kind of like in and out of All Japan, and then like he just kind of unceremoniously stops being in All Japan, and then he's in Noah for a few years.
Yeah.
And I mean, stylistically, he fit Noah better than he fit that era of All Japan.
Wasn't he in Noah before All Japan?
Well, he challenges Kawada for the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
And Noah debut is Destiny. And Kawada loses the belt before Destiny. This is some fucking high level MMA math I'm doing in my head now.
Because I think he was working in All Japan as of like 2006, 2007.
January 05 was the title match with those two.
Okay.
Oh, it's actually Kawada's last defense. And he's still, I think, he's still kicking around New Japan because he's the IWGP champion in 05, is he not? Or is that 04?
I think 04.
Because he loses it to Sap, but I think he wins it back. Yeah, he wins it back from Fujita and then drops it in December 04.
It's when he like shaved his head and started wearing like the camo shorts.
No, that's 01.
That's a one? Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's when he comes back from his quote unquote MMA fight.
You're right, because isn't that his gear in like All Star 2, I think?
It might be his default in KOC Red. It's either his default or it's one of his attires.
Right, okay, yeah, so it's further back than I thought.
Yeah, what a weird look. And also thing where he beats Fujita puts him in a rear naked choke, chokes him out, but Fujita's shoulders are on the mat. So they wake Kensuke up, hand him the belt, and Fujita just walks off like, I don't fucking care, I'll win that belt next year.
Yeah. It's like I'm going back to bashing my head against the wall.
And then fucking Nakajima drops the Lidet UWF belt to Soma Watanabe in a match where he beats the bitch out of Watanabe the whole fucking match. And then like Watanabe does a Hail Mary like rear naked choke, and then Nakajima quote unquote passes out, and then immediately after the match just gets up and fucking like, I'm not shaking your hand, and walks off.
Is he still like associated with Simon Kelly?
I don't think so.
I heard that Sari is, which is something I didn't know until
it's not good. That guy will kill your fucking career.
Well, she's like all she has like she did the Inoki towel thing and visit his grave and all that stuff, so I guess I can see it.
It's kind of gross that Simon Kelly's still trying to exploit his, former father-in-law.
Well, what else does he have, right?
Fuck, I don't know.
Well, he can't exploit Kelly, his other relative, so.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't go by that name anymore. She's ashamed to be known as a distant relative of his, I'm told.
Yeah, she changed her name to Bobby Blank.
Which, honestly, way better wrestling name than Kelly Kelly.
I mean, yeah. True. I don't know if I want my last name to be Blank,
Yeah, well, it matches what's going on in her head.
I feel like if I said that to people, they'd be like, no, what's your last name? It'd be like some like who's on third type bullshit.
Yeah. Kyle Peterson, I'll say this real quick before we wrap up, because this isn't nearly as long of a fucking show as last week, honestly. We don't have any reason to go.
You don't want to go another 2 hours?
Fuck no, I don't. we had reason to go 4 hours last week. We don't this week.
Oh no, yeah, there's a lot to talk about for sure.
I guess Kyle Peterson said he heard that AEW's new toy company is a newish company, which would immediately rule out McFarlane.
So who came to your mind when you heard that though?
Jada Toys was like the only thing I could think of.
That's what I thought of too. And then I was like in the back of my head, and I don't think it's a realistic, but like the other one was like Syndicate. Um, but also that's
They're
just me
really
thinking.
bad about actually getting stuff out, though.
Yeah, I know. That's just me like thinking of like newer companies in my head. I was like, well, who could it be? But Jada was definitely my first thought.
I mean, I guess that company that's doing the shitty little UFC figures, but if
Ugh.
that's the company, I can't imagine why Mark Sterling said on Boozing with the Toys that he's like feeling positive about the future of AEW figures.
I mean, Jada would be a great match. I mean, their figures are like for the most part pretty easy to find. Um,
High quality.
and high quality, yeah, great prices. So
I think if they stuck to the scale they're doing now, though, a lot of people would be pissed because they wouldn't be able to use them with the old AEW figures. Like the
yeah,
first thing that popped into my head.
it gives hope. Maybe it gives them a reason to rebuy. Though, like start a new line. Um,
Yeah.
and I think if you saw the Jade, I think it's like you kind of want to do that because they're so good.
Yeah, my biggest concern with Jada beyond the scaling is like they got to get stuff out faster. We can't be waiting. Like it's been 3 years and we're on the verge of Street Fighter 2 being done.
Yeah,
We can't be 3 years into this AEW line on the verge of getting our like 16th figure. People are not going to accept that.
yeah, that's the frustrating thing about it. I wonder if like with that issue, if they would just do like sort of like a legacy line where you just have like top of tires for wrestlers as opposed to like getting the most recent stuff out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even still, the release cadence would have to be faster.
Yeah, and I wonder if like they would go something similar of like a Street Fighter scale, and like you'd have like the larger wrestlers be more like your Zangief and Sagat and stuff like that. That be more on like the maybe a bit more price wise. That'd be interesting, like a
It's
more cartoony style.
Yeah, but I also see people shitting all over that. I would have
Yeah,
no issue
because
with it.
everything's got to be like more
It's
realistic,
got to be
right?
ultra realistic. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm all for Jada Toys. I mean, I can't think of any other like newer toy companies. Like, I mean, the real ideal one would be Zombie, but that's a million fucking times not happening.
Yeah, as cool as it would be.
One of my friends thought Ringside, but Ringside is not under any circumstances going to blow up the relationship with Mattel WWE.
No.
Which, even if Mattel didn't have an issue with it, I guarantee you TKO would cockblock having
Oh,
the WWE figures on the website of the producer of the competition's action figures.
definitely. Yeah.
Like that's like not even a question. Like immediately Ringside gets cut off and then Ringside goes under because they're not going to subsist on unsanctioned figures and the AEW figures. And Ringside's release cadence sucks too because they teased that Sabu like months ago. We've heard absolutely
Exactly.
nothing.
Yep.
So, like, I mean, Jada's release cadence is great compared to Ringside's, and also the quality's much, much better. But we'll have to fucking see. I mean, Comic Con's what, 6 weeks away?
Something like that. Yeah.
So we're gonna see. I don't think there's any other interesting companies that could have popped up unless it's going to be like one of the import companies that uses like 52 toys, but like, or 52 toys is the company. I'm sorry. I just banked on the company I got my Kratos from, like the shipping company. But like,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I
What if they
don't
do
know.
like? What if they have like Action Force?
Oh, Valverse. That's
Yeah.
that's interesting because very friendly like pricing for collectors. Get
I saw
stuff
they did
out
the
in a
slaughter.
reasonable manner of time. Yeah, because
Yeah,
he's doing like a knockoff GI Joe line.
that was very interesting. Yeah, Action Force is like their knockoff, but I didn't knew Slaughter had a figure with them. I thought that was very interesting.
And they're doing Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell too. That thing looks awesome.
Yeah, their figures look pretty good. I mean, I've never seen them in person, but I've always
I
been
have a
wondering about
few.
them. I've always wondered, like, because I always thinking about getting like these like heads of like the other actors from Predator that aren't Arnold who haven't had a figure, and I was like, what if you could? How would they would look on these? So I've always looked at them and thought about that, but I've never owned them. But I think maybe that would be maybe a solid line. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
They feel okay in hand. Some of the joints on some of the ones I have are like really stiff though.
Mm, yeah.
Like all your might to get the double joint knees to bend and they still barely move kind of stiff. Like you have to heat these things up kind of stiff.
Uh,
But then I have others that moved perfectly fine. So it's like any other toy line, honestly. You have that with all of them.
yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out because we haven't seen an instance of AEW moving from one licensing partner to another.
I think I would still like to see them work with one of the independent companies to do like a different line. I still think even if it was like a limited thing, because they did the Tony Storm and what was it like Darby with Big Rubber Guys.
Tony,
Um,
Hangman, Sting, and Orange
was it?
Cassidy and
Oh, okay.
Edge.
I thought it was Darby, but I guess I just made that up. Um, oh, he did that for
Jazzwares did the
LJN,
LJN.
right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So if I would think it'd be neat if they still had like retros with like Zombie or something like that, just an idea. But I imagine they'll just stick with the one company to make figures.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing them try to get into like the retro market, but we don't know like is the next toy licensing deal going to be for like a master license
Mm,
or are they going to be willing to like kind of parse it out cuz that doesn't always work so much.
right. I just like I'd love Zombie to do like a Sting pack. That would be the best.
Yeah. Pinnacle Collection Sting would fix a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Like a Sting Legacy Collection that would be yeah,
Sting
that'd be
retros
wonderful.
too would be excellent. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
he's already done
trust
Flair,
him.
so yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's got kind of sort of the parts already if you look at Hercules.
Yeah.
Just reuse the upper body there. Cuz Sting should have been a Gorilla Press guy in the friggin' Mattel Retros line like anyway
That would
instead
also
of a
give
goddamn
him an
thumper.
opportunity. It'd also give him possibly an opportunity to add to the ECW figures with like Taz and Jerry Lynn, maybe Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
That'd
There's
be
a
very
lot of
cool.
interesting possibilities if that could. But again, it comes down to fucking release cadence.
Yeah.
I waited just under a year for the Pinnacle lectures, but it was like 2 years from like full reveal to pre-order fulfillment. I don't know that I'm waiting 2 years for Sting. That might be a little much of an ask.
Yeah.
But unless there's anything else,
Um.
trying to
Oh, I one thing I just wanted to bring up because I don't think you've played it yet, but WCW rebooked the SmackDown 2 hack. Uh, Definitely recommend checking that out because it's really really cool. It's again what I imagine live would have looked like if they used the Simple Series engine.
I've looked at gameplay of that for like the longest time, and I've just never taken the plunge. It looks really freaking cool.
Yeah, and they removed like the match audio, but then you've got lines from like Tony and Bobby Heenan and Bischoff and stuff added in at random points. Kind of repetitive, but it's a neat little thing that they did that. You've got like the Nitro Arena Saturday night, and then you've got like pay-per-view arenas, of course, the different mats and stuff. There's exclusive wrestlers that appear in like World War Three. And like in SmackDown 2 when they had like the Big Show and Ken Shamrock were removed from the game, but they were still available in that mode. So there's like
Right.
hidden stuff like that, which is really cool. Uh, yeah, I really dug it. The one thing that's sort of distracting is the Nitro Arena. The crowd, just the way it's actually sort of looks like a mix of like that's like a background you'd see in like Earthbound when you fight the final boss or something. It's like really strange looking, but that's just like a minor complaint as to what the full game is like. It's super interesting. I was watching a match between Sabu and Jericho, and they replaced the casket match with a crate match. So it's just like a wooden crate that you put the opponent in. And I don't remember how like the AI system works in SmackDown 2, but like Sabu was acting exactly like Sabu. It was crazy. He's just like jumping all over the goddamn place, like missing Jericho and doing like these moonsaults and just diving around. I was like, this is hilarious and great. So yeah, if there's anybody that hasn't checked it out, highly recommended. Also along with like Starcade edition of Revenge, I think that's just brilliant. Um, I'm really into the WCW projects right now, so the more the merrier.
Have you seen the Saturday night's main event or primetime wrestling, whatever it's called?
Yeah, I did see those. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to trying them out. Uh, I think it's crazy, like the amount of work that they're doing. This B amount productions. They seem to be all over the place when it comes to these projects now, and I think, um, God, it's just like all these Aki stuff still like amazes me. You know how we've gone from like all the texture replacements now to the ROM hacks and the different things that are being done. It's nuts.
I wonder if friend of the show GM Spectre is still working on or looking to work on like a '89 era WWF thing.
I don't know. Is he not involved with any of the stuff that's happening right now?
Oh, I don't know.
I should check the credits on Warzone Bad Blood, but it seemed like there was a hell of a lot of people that were a part of those things. So
Yeah, it very much feels like something that would require a pretty significant group effort.
yeah,
It's
what was
cool that
your?
we're getting these.
I was just gonna say, what was your thoughts on seeing them?
I saw some of I saw the trailer with the obvious AI for the WWF ones.
Yeah,
My thing about Mania 2000 is like the arenas are a little too restrictive. There's only so much you can do, and you
right.
can't really fully dress it up to look like something that.
Agreed.
But
Yeah,
I think it's super cool that we're getting them. My brain would have melted if you would have put this in front of me when I was like 10.
yeah.
I haven't played the Revenge Starcade one yet, but I will at some point relatively
It
soon.
rules. It's just like it feels like the absolute definitive version of Revenge, and the roster's like pulled back a bit, so you don't have NWO Wolfpack. You've just got like WCW, NWO, Ravens Flock, Four Horsemen, Dungeon of Doom. Um, but you still have like the Wolfpack attires and stuff if you want to put them on there. But also just like having like the Yeti for Reese and um Jerry Flynn under Yuji Nagata, Norman Smiley under Hacksaw Jim Duggan and stuff like that. It's just like I don't know what's missing from it that I can think of that like this person isn't in, like that I would have wanted to be. And there's move replacements like Hogan does the Hulk up now instead of the Flair Flop. So there's definitely improvements in that respect as well. It's just I love it. It's the best.
I'm happy we're at a point where like this stuff is able to be done and you don't have to wait like for some of these you're not waiting, years and then somebody decides like, well, I'm going to give you half the texture mods from this and then we're just going to call it a day.
Yeah, the getting rid of all these texture files replacements has been so better too because like having folders of all these different images just like it's a lot and it's annoying. Like you'd have like thousands of images for some projects and getting rid of all of that and just having the single ROM file is still just like a breath of fresh air. And all the stuff that they can do with it is just it's incredible.
And also not piling fucking hundreds of thousands of lines of Game Shark code onto No Mercy until it doesn't fucking play
Oh
like an
yeah.
Amiga game anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
It's
then getting mad at people on Twitter when they point out like all of the stuff you're doing. Like there was the one mod where it's like, oh, we've replaced the grapple animation, so now like Rock and Austin are standing there like taunting at each other, and then a move just happens.
mm,
And I was like, this looks like shit. Like, what made you think this was a good idea? Like, we're not doing that anymore. We're doing like actual projects that don't completely neuter what these games are. to make them something they're not. Because after a certain point, like, none of us know better than the developers of that series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? Like adding breakable tables in Hell in a Cell, that's not the same thing. You're adding to it. You're not trying to
Right.
fundamentally change the way barbed wire match is the same thing. You're not trying to
Exactly.
fundamentally change the way this stuff works. Like adding like, oh, here's like no more grapple animations and moves are just gonna happen. Like that stuff sucks.
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen of the improvements now, especially with like ECW, Born to Be Wired, as you said, it's adding to it. It's not replacing or making changes to anything that already exists. It's completely new animations. I told you about it the other day, but I had a battle royal and I was playing as I think it was Mike Awesome, and I tried to throw Super Crazy out, and all of a sudden he like jumps to the steps on the second rope, steps on the first rope, and then on the top rope, and then reverses my throw with a Hurricane Rana and eliminates me. And I was like, holy shit! Like I'd never seen that reversal yet. And I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing, and I was just like sort of blown away. Um, yeah, like obviously enough can't be said about like Born to Be Wired. Has he announced like the when he's going to release like the complete finished version?
He's working on Backlash now.
Okay, because the last one he released
So
was like the public beta, right?
the first one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That that ROM hack's like my favorite fucking thing ever. That's my favorite
Yeah.
wrestling game.
I don't know how you really get better than that. Um, with all the stuff that's just added, it's insane. I try to get like the Giant Bomb crew on it because Jeff Bakula said he's like an ECW guy, and I showed him he's like, what the hell is this? And I explained it to him a bit, and fortunately, I don't think they played it yet, but yeah.
Bastante Bueno dropped a new video.
Oh shit. Okay. Let me see this. Is that on
I
Twitter?
think it's on Twitter. I just got linked to it. Yeah.
Let me see here. Yeah. 22 minutes ago. Oh, that's very nice. Big Hurricane Rana. Sharpshooter.
Not showing anything from the cool like fucking 90s wrestling game camera.
Not yet. Triple power bomb, very
There's like a
nice.
high up camera angle. That's neat.
Yeah. The fact that he's doing this for free too is insane. Oh,
Yeah.
there's promos now.
Yeah. Looks
Did I
like that
forget
might be
that?
part of like a single player mode.
Yeah. The cage match, jumping attacks from the cage, double jumping bullshit from the cage. Oh, low blow. Dives. Green mist into a cutter. Let's see. German suplex, very nice. German suplex in the cage. God, this looks really good. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I don't know either. And he basically he taught himself to code making that game.
It's insane. It's insane
Yeah.
how like this one dude came out of nowhere and made something that's fun to play and looks that good. I don't get it. He's a magician or something. There's some type of evil involved, I think.
I think so, yeah. They had to have like sold his soul or something.
Yeah.
Speaking of selling your soul, fuck the New York Knicks.
Oh, I didn't.
I will never at any point in my life acknowledge that that team fucking won the NBA championship.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't watch it, but I saw the people going crazy.
Listen, I'm glad that New York has like a mayor that's committed to doing shit and improving their quality of life. That's great. I just don't think they deserve the NBA championship too.
No, I don't know. I don't. I saw. I think he was at the football though. I don't think he was actually at the match, at the Knicks game.
No, well, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't go to a Knicks game either.
Isn't it funny that the only time Trump went there, they lost?
Yeah, yeah, he should have fucking just showed up for the. He should have rocked up for the rest of those fucking games. Jesus Christ. Oh right, the White House cards tonight too. I'm not watching that shit.
Oh no, I heard it's gonna like film and stuff. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I think it's somebody on I think it was one of the MMA pages I follow on Instagram was like, yeah, there's like a 45% chance of rain tomorrow. It's gonna be like 94. Derek Lewis and Josh Hogan are gonna die in the first round if it's fucking 94 degrees outside.
Yeah,
Go back and watch that Josh Hogan fucking Curtis Blades fight. I think it's on YouTube for free where they're completely fucking gassed and Rogan and those idiots are trying to call it like the greatest heavyweight fight of all time because neither of them went down. That shit cannot happen tonight. Those guys are going to be dead on their feet by the end of the first if it makes it to the 5 minute mark. Jesus Christ.
did you see the picture going around of like Trump with two like guys with like white hair and like white faces and they look dressed like nutcrackers? Did you see that?
No, that sounds incredibly fucked up.
Well, I mean, people are there was like discussion of if it's AI or not, and people are saying that it's not. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of it is, but they look like the woman from Die Antwoord, but dressed like nutcrackers, and I don't know. But then people started like putting them with other politicians and like obviously AI scenarios. There's people that think they're aliens, which I don't know. I don't think aliens would dress like that, but what do I know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Everything's so fucked up.
Yeah, it's
I
really
will
stupid.
say the one thing on the show I had any interest in seeing is the Ilya Taporia Justin Gaethje fight. I saw because again I follow like MMA fighting on Instagram. I guess at some point Justin Gaethje said my dad is my father, and it's like, yeah,
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 no,
that's how that works, dumbass.
that's accurate. I saw there was one
That
guy that
that
showed up. Sorry, go ahead.
that boy has like that boy got CTE. He don't even need to. You don't need a cadaver brain from him to know his
Yeah,
shit's gone. Great
I
fighter.
I saw there was one guy that showed up to the weigh-in like drunk and was puking on himself.
Oh, Josh Hokett. Yeah, his whole
Yeah,
gimmick is he's a fucking loser, and
well,
that's
he's
why
doing a
so many
good
of the
job.
MAGA chuds there's a card breaker I watch on YouTube that like I didn't watch the UFC before it was on Paramount, but they had a guy that did a wrestling style promo, and I really liked him. Like, yeah, buddy, you're the target audience. Fucking the exact type of people that should not be watching MMA. Just fucking losers that probably vote Republican. I've noticed like a huge uptick in like Democratic coverage of this, like from left leaning sources. I mean, and it's all negative. And one of them flat out was like, "Yeah, the UFC can't come back from this. Like, you can't position yourself anything approximating the center now. Like you've planted your flag here, buddy. Like, good luck." And White House is in the fucking game. I think
Is
we
it?
both called it too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's confirmed.
Yeah, there's like a graphic of it, and I think early access launched on Friday.
Hmm.
I didn't buy it because I was like money was tight, and I was just, like I had the money to buy it on Thursday, and I was like Nintendo Switch.
I I saw like a picture of the octagon with the White House in the background, and it feels like something of like out of Saints Row. That's all I could think of. Um,
The
I hope the show.
visual of it is
Uh-huh.
so weird,
It
man,
is,
because
yeah,
like it looks like an arena from like a Knockout Kings game, or
yeah,
like a fantasy arena from like one of the early 2000s UFC games. If they did like an alternate fucking venue. The fact that this is actually happening bothers me on so many fucking levels.
Yeah, it's incredibly gross, and I hope it's a massive failure.
There's no way it's not. There's no way this card's going to be any good. Maybe some of that's coping on my part, but like when that card was announced, my friends and I were watching the show where they announced the card, and we just laughed. I laughed first because they didn't really know, because they're like uber casual and really they're just watching because we're all on a call together.
Yeah.
But I was like, that is the worst fucking card. Like Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. Alex Pereira, who now has like the night before his fucking heavyweight title fight, it comes out. And I'm not saying like, oh, you shouldn't have done it here. Like, I'm just saying it's very funny. Like, I had kind of a feeling that guy might be a piece of shit. I didn't want to believe it because like he's a good fighter, and like when somebody in the UFC presents themselves as being like kind of an all right guy, like 95% chance the other shoe's going to drop, and you're going to find out they're like a sex pester, an abuser, or both. And allegedly, that's what he did in addition to stalking. So fuck him. I hope Cyril Gane eye pokes him like he did Tom Aspinall.
It's incredible how like I don't want to be on a high horse or anything, but like morals are so deep down in the ground that you can straight up have like, you know, a sexual predator or an abuser or whatever on your fight cards and no one blinks an eye. You know, it's just
In 10 years ago, if some shit like this came out the night before a big pay-per-view, he would have got pulled. It doesn't matter that it's co-main event. That's like the thing. I've noticed with Dana White. Do you remember like 15 years ago, when Ronda said all the like pseudo transphobic shit about Cyborg, and Dana was like, "Yeah, you can't say shit like that." That's fucking. Which is weird because he also made the Vanderlei and address comment about fucking Cyborg at one point or another. And like there was a fighter that said some homophobic shit. He either got cut or Dana like went off on him at the fucking scrum. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? People lose their jobs for this shit. I'm pretty sure it's an exact quote from Dana White. And like now it's just like, no, they'll parade Trump out. It's funny though, the last time they did it, he got booed. It was very clear he got booed. And
oh
I
no,
mean, they're going to parade him out tonight.
He got cheered at the next game, remember? That's what he said. He got cheered.
Oh, I didn't see. Like, I don't have the ability to watch the NBA anymore because you need like 5 streaming services.
He got booed heavily, but when I was asked about it later, he said he got cheered because you know, let's live in this fantasy world where it's very much it's.
Well, I mean, we've all thought for years now he has like his dad had Alzheimer's disease. Have you ever heard that story? They gave his dad an office in like Trump Tower because he had Alzheimer's, and like they just gave him an office where they gave him pretend work to do because he was like really deep in it. And it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm pretty sure this guy's got Alzheimer's. Why is he the president?
Yeah, it's
that shit's genetic, buddy.
What can you even say at this point? You know, dude's turning 80 years old.
Dude, what if he strokes the fuck out during the UFC card?
Well, well, maybe I could see that happening.
Like, God.
What if he just enters the octagon for no reason?
Dude, what if he has a senior moment and gets in the fucking cage? He's like, he tells Justin Gaethje, "Not young man, I've got this."
He just
Superior would probably feel bad about it, but he would just fucking. That would be like the grimiest knockout in history.
Gets in the middle of a fight, drops his trousers with his diaper on, and just puts his fists up.
You know, basically everybody on the card tonight would probably just like applaud if he did that too.
Oh, very good, sir. Very good. What a show of power and excellence.
what a show of patriotism. What a fucking asshole.
And then he's like, well, I'm going to bomb Iran. You didn't like it? That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of other countries that are complicit in what's going on because a lot of people don't want to run afoul of Israel because of what may or may not be in the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not just us. It's our neighbors to the north and a lot of our friends in the east too that are terrified of those files actually being fucking released. It's so disgusting. Like, why can't we just get these fuckers out of power?
I mean,
I'm tired of hearing like you need to show up and vote. I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing like we need to just let all the old people. Okay, if all the old fuckers that are currently in office die, guess what? There's younger versions of them ready to step up.
I mean, you saw that article that came out the other day about Epstein and Trump. It was a big article, and it was like, oh, he's in it this time. But how many times have we heard that before? And what ends up happening? Nothing. So.
Oh, the article about how they were like complicit in covering up all of the fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It extends beyond just like elected officials in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know nothing's gonna happen.
No, but it's like it's fucking any other president at any other point in my lifetime, and I'm pretty sure my mom's lifetime, because she's been around a little bit longer than me, and by a little bit I mean 40 years. Any other president that had this many scandals, they would have hung that motherfucker. Like they would have. I don't mean literally. I mean maybe in some eras of American history, literally they would. But like they would have, like the Republican Party would have jettisoned this fucker a long time ago. But the reality is, the Republican Party, as it existed in his first term, doesn't exist anymore.
No.
It's been replaced by him and his people. You ever look at like when people talk about how bad his first term was? And his first term sucked. But like everybody acts like his first term was a nightmare. No, all of the really insane shit he wanted to do got curbed by all of the people that were around him that needed to fucking preserve themselves.
Yeah, and he got rid of some of those people, and that shit's happening now.
Yeah, he got rid of all of them, and now it's just the fucking cult around him. And they have the Heritage Foundation on board with the fucking playbook. You can't stop it now. Because people were like, well, the worm's going to turn eventually. The worm should have fucking turned in 2020, and it didn't. And now here we are. And like on some level, like the idea of people cage fighting on the White House lawn is hilarious, because isn't that kind of what happened on the Capitol in January of 2021? But like all those people got pardoned, so we can't laugh at them anymore.
Yeah, and then half of them are now back in jail again because of other crimes they've committed.
Yeah, crazy how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, who you vote for says a fucking lot about you, actually. Jesus Christ, man, the world fucking sucks.
It does indeed. It does indeed.
But at least there's WCW ROM hacks, and I'm gonna go to the G1 opener.
Yeah.
Provided we don't get nuked before then.
Talked about it before, but you know, the world often sucks, especially these days, but there's always things you can do to distract yourself, and there's still good people around. There's still good things to do, so focus on that.
Yeah, I just really wish my Burger King still existed, but the crackheads got it shut down, so I can't have it my way today.
Oh, you gotta get one of those Roadhouse burgers. They're the best thing they have.
I can't get shit at Burger King, big dog. They don't fucking have one close to me anymore. Closest one's like 45 minutes.
Yeah. Maybe if you're out of town sometime, though.
I mean, maybe next time when I go to the comic shop.
Yeah.
But that's like such a long way around to go through the town that actually has Burger King in it. That's like an extra like 15-minute detour. And honestly, if I'm going to go to that town for the Burger King, there's like Waffle House. I'd rather go to Waffle House, spend the same amount of money.
You don't really support the king at all.
Well, I would support the king if he didn't fucking pull his restaurant out of my goddamn town.
Well, I don't know. It sounds sort of...
It's kind of hard to be a loyal subject when that motherfucker said he doesn't want my $6 for a Whopper anymore.
Didn't Sneak King mean anything to you?
You know what? I never played any of those games, but I always thought it was really funny. Xbox 360 game.
Yeah. How come we didn't
Notice they didn't do that shit with the Hamburglar?
Yeah, why didn't we get like Ronald McDonald on the Wii or something?
Dude, why didn't we get like a God of War clone with fucking Grimace? That's what I'm asking.
Grimace is my favorite. I could have met him once and I didn't get to, and I was very sad.
I understand it. He's giant and purple.
I want Grimace in like Mad World, actually.
I want Grimace in fucking Smash Brothers.
Grimace with a chainsaw.
Dude, Grimace in Doom. Oh, did you see? Speaking of Xbox, I swear to God, we're gonna wrap the show up here in a minute. They showed a Doom: The Dark Ages DLC that at one point looks like you're playing a modern version of like Doom 2's Underhalls.
Yeah,
like, it's the same like design and shit. Like, what the fuck is that?
Someone said they did that in the previous one of the previous games, but I don't know if there's any truth to that.
No, in the previous games, you would like stumble upon like a section of the level, but it was the modern like 3D model Doom enemies, so they
Oh,
looked like
okay.
super out of place. In this trailer, they were clearly like new sprites that were made.
Hmm.
Obviously using 3D models, so it's like this weird pre-rendered fucking Doom, but like that Mancubus is not the original version, and I don't even know what the little guy that kind of looks like Bones Jackson from Mutant League Football is supposed to be. But I saw that and I was like, if the whole DLC was just this, I'd buy the fucking base game and the DLC just to play it.
Maybe it's just in there as like a tease of things to come. Maybe they will do something like that eventually.
I think a mid-level budget Doom game that basically does that exact thing would be very, very
Yeah,
popular.
I think that would be sell like hotcakes.
It would, yeah. I think people would be over the freaking moon for that. Having said that, we're gonna wrap it up for this week. Um, what the fuck do you want to talk about next week?
Hmm. You don't have access to Hero Style Ring, right?
I have a copy. I don't have anything to play it on. Does it?
Okay.
Does it run on RPCS3?
Oh, I don't know. It might be tough.
All right, YouTube. Boot
Because I've
shall
been asked
be
about that
prepared.
recently, and it was something that I know we had talked about previously.
Okay, so it does run, but now we have to enter the magic words Steam Deck, and
Uh-oh.
there's not a single fucking, not a
No.
single video of it. I mean, if it runs, then it'll probably run on the deck. I mean, okay, this isn't apples to apples, but TNA Impact runs, and they're on
Oh,
the same engine.
yeah.
So
I need to get my copy out of storage. Unfortunately, I won't be able to check the leaderboards to see if I'm on it anywhere anymore.
lame. But yeah, I'm willing to try to emulate that. If I can't, we need to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Are there any other shitty WWF games we haven't covered?
I'm trying to think if there's anything that. Hell, why don't we just look at WCW Rebooked if it doesn't work?
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me a link to it, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, next week we're gonna take a look at WCW. Is it 95 to 2000 rebooked, like the full title?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a look at that next week, and you'll get all of our thoughts and impressions and things of that nature. And until then, take care. Don't be an asshole, and tell the people you love that you love them today.